Hello, today is May 20th. My name is Ryan Rydell. I live in New York City. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I am gay and I am married to a man. So, I know BYU is doing a lot of, the church to me has not put out a lot of information about the new policy change on gay and families and things like that, and how are we supposed to talk about this dogmatically at church and things like that, which is very interesting to me. But this is what I'm going to say is BYU has been putting out a lot of information, and I've read a lot of things about what professors at BYU have said. But this is the thing that I am fearful of is what is the retaliation policy right now that's happening for professors that are like, everyone needs to be an ally, everyone needs to be, not accommodating, but everyone needs to be welcoming to LGBT students at BYU. I had a professor that I like talking about the positive people in my life, and I'm weary of saying their name only because I'm scared of the retaliation that they could possibly receive because I say their name. I mean, as you can tell, even in that comment, that there's still a lot of distrust I have with the church about this issue because it's so ingrained in me. These are people that stood toe to toe with us, while we talked about a lot of different issues with the church, and saw letters that my family would write to me about what a terrible person I am, and they'd be like, well, let's look at this, and they would think about the lunacy that is my family, and they would tell me about what are the things that what are the positives that they saw in these letters, and what are the positives, and what are the dogmatic things, and how they read them and how they interpreted them, which, it was a lot of spin coverage if you ask me, but it was nice to hear people say this is not appropriate, but we can understand where they're coming from, but still doesn't make it appropriate. And so, what I learned is that, just because you have gay children doesn't mean that you get to say whatever you want to them and be well, it's appropriate because I'm using Jesus as my, and I can say whatever I want in the name of Jesus. And I had a professor teach me that's not how it works. That Jesus doesn't allow people to just use words in hatred, and just because you're scared of something doesn't give you the right to use in the name of Jesus. And I feel for a long time that's what the church doctrine about gays has been, is we get to say whatever we want, however we want, because we've got Jesus on our side. And I honestly think, my own personal opinion is, I don't think that's how it works, but I also had a professor, I don't feel my personal opinion is that's not right. But the thing about it too is that, the church is trying to figure this out the best they know how. And I just want to know, who are they talking to, about how to bridge these gaps. I would love to be a fly on those walls. I can't wait for more stuff to come out. But I'm also expecting it to be also very regressionary. So, I'm trying to be positive, but I feel as I'm talking, the more, true sense of, what I'm thinking is coming out. So it's I'm trying to be positive, but I also am trying to be a realist about what are the things that are possibly happening. And I feel the realist side of me is so scared of what the church is going to say next. I just don't know what's going to happen. But I'm trying to stay positive, and I had really good teachers that I'd like to thank, but I just don't want them to get called out and get attacked for being supportive when it wasn't cool to be supportive. Everyone should be supportive. If you think about it, Christ was supportive to people. the woman who was pulled out of sin when it wasn't cool to support her. So I'm all about supporting people when it's hard to support them.